And a pleasant good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Rebel Media Network. Roncalli Lady Rebel Soccer for you tonight as match day number 1. The Lady Rebels opening up the 2019 season, taking on the Whiteland Warriors. And a very anticipated opening fixture for this Lady Rebels team, Sam Brown, as we welcome you in again here on the Roncalli YouTube and Facebook pages. Rob Brown is my name, Sam Brown alongside. And we are happy to bring you this broadcast tonight, the first of 4 this week here on the Rebel Media Network. We'll get in more to that later on tonight. But first things first for Maurice Shilton's club, who's he's in his 6th season. Roncalli coming off a 5-10 campaign last year. And, Sam, I think they're certainly hoping for better things this year, but when you look down on the stat sheet and see that 19 of the 23 goals last year are back, certainly there's optimism heading into this opener.
Yeah, the first game of the season is always a good way to, work out the kinks, see what works, see what doesn't work, how you want to structure your offense, things like that. So I think the Rebels are just hoping to kind of start their season by getting into a good stride.
Well, it's a veteran Roncalli team, 5 seniors in the starting lineup and 4 juniors. So 9 of the 11 players who will begin the game on the pitch are upperclassmen. Meanwhile, Whiteland, a very young club, went just 1-15-1 last year. Their only win came in the regular season finale against Greenwood Christian. They've got a new coach in Nick Magdalenos, who coached the boys team at Warren Central, and he's trying to get this program back on its footing. It's rare, Sam, that you see a team go have a 1-15-1 season, one season after going 12-4-1. So a lot of regrouping for this Whiteland team, you would assume, this year.
And this is obviously going to be hopefully a rebuilding year for them.
Yeah, they've no seniors on their roster. They're starting 3 juniors, 5 sophomores, and 3 freshmen in their opener tonight. This is the first of 3 this week for Maurice Shilton's outfit. They will be at Warren Central on Wednesday night, and then back here for match day 3, hosting Columbus East on Saturday morning at 11:30. Meanwhile, Whiteland will be back in action on Wednesday night as well when they take on Plainfield at home. That's a mid-state conference game for Whiteland in that matchup with Plainfield. These two clubs played last year, Roncalli winning 4-0. Rebels getting goals from Sophia Dietz, Kiara Shilton, and 2 from Marina Babcock. And, Sam, we talked about the seniors coming back for this Roncalli club, but it's actually Babcock, the junior, who led the team in goals last year.
Really? Well, certainly the high number of returners is going to help them with leadership out on the field. And I think truly that tonight might be where Whiteland suffers, where they have just a bunch of new faces, whereas Roncalli has a lot of experienced players who can get it done on the field.
Well, you look at a team like Whiteland with no seniors, certainly they're trying to establish where their program's going to move going forward. And anytime you play a team like that, you want to play them right out of the gate. You don't want to play them later in the season when they've had a chance to find their stride. And so certainly this is an advantageous time for Maurice Shilton's team to play Whiteland tonight versus later on in the year.
Of course, it's always better to get out in front of your opponent when they don't have the chance to get comfortable.
This will be, as we mentioned, the first of 4 broadcasts for you this week here on the Rebel Media Network. We'll be back with you tomorrow night. We'll be indoors, thankfully, for volleyball action. Missy Marce's club taking on Lawrence North. Match time will be at about 6:30 here on the school YouTube channel and Facebook page. Stefan Welsh and Quinn Welsh on the call for that one tomorrow night from the Woodshed. The final season of sports in the Woodshed, as Roncalli expected to move into the new gym, yet to be named new gym, in time for the girls' basketball season in November. So we'll have that one for you tomorrow night. Back on the pitch on Thursday night for the 3rd game of the week for the Rebel boys soccer team. Southport will be in here for a 7 o'clock start. Sam and I will have that one for you on the school YouTube and Facebook pages. And then We'll close out the week in grand fashion with the football home opener against Southport, 6:30 with the pregame show for that one. 7 o'clock our kick time. That game can be seen on the school YouTube and Facebook pages, as well as streamed on the audio side on rebelmedianetwork.com, and heard also on terrestrial radio over the air here in Central Indiana on CBS Sports 1430 AM. Starters for tonight's fixture heading toward midfield. Go ahead and run through those for you. For Whiteland, the freshman McKinley Garrett in the goal. Trinity Hazelwood, a junior. Sydney Lee, a junior. Haley Ox, a freshman. Merritt Emmerich, a junior. Stella Holliday, a sophomore. Molly Baker, a sophomore. Julie Witherington, a sophomore. Sarah Turcott, a sophomore. Florence Lee, a sophomore. And Grace Scudder, a freshman. Again, 3 juniors, 5 sophomores, and 3 freshmen. And Sam, you and I talked before the match. Only 2 players, Witherington and Turcott, were full-time varsity players last year. So this really is essentially a brand new team for Whiteland.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Marie Shilton's Lady Rebels. Emma Agresta will be in the goal, the sophomore. Starting alongside senior Jean Searing, senior Riley Pruitt, senior Sophia Dietz, senior Minna Burkhart, junior Kiara Shilton, junior Lauren Prather, junior Marina Babcock, sophomore Abby Scheel, junior Olivia Kelly, and senior Isabella Battiston. So 5 seniors, 4 juniors, and 2 sophomores in the starting 11 for Roncalli. And we mentioned Marina Burkhart led the team with 5 goals last year. You've also got Lauren Prather, who was an all-county selection. Abby Scheel was all-county as a freshman last year, as well as all-conference.
Wow.
So she'll certainly be a key player, the only one of only 2 underclassmen in the starting lineup. And then you look in goal, Sam. We didn't talk about Agresta, but Molly Mullen was the MVP of the team last year as a senior goalie. Agresta did play in 10 games last year, but that's big shoes to fill for Mullen. We're going to go ahead and take our first and only break here in the pregame show. We'll go ahead and step out for 2 minutes. We'll come back with the opening kick after this on the Rebel Media Network.
God our Father, help us to put forth our best efforts today.
And welcome back to Roncalli Stadium for tonight's opening fixture between Roncalli and Whiteland. Girls Soccer 2019. A couple of teams opened up over the weekend, but this is the first match for both of these clubs. 2 other Circle City Conference squads in action tonight. Covenant Christian is at Mooresville, and Bishop Chatard hosting Mount Vernon. We'll try and keep an eye out on scores there. This field runs east to west. Roncalli will be moving right to left across your screen toward the east goal. Whiteland going the other direction. Sam, you want to break down the kit matchup tonight?
Whiteland will be wearing the away whites, Roncalli in the home blues.
Whiteland with the orange numerals, Roncalli in the royal blues with the red numerals, which are very difficult to read on the front of the jerseys.
Very.
It's like Whiteland has won the toss, so they will take it first. So happy you're with us on a Monday night. Settle in for some football here from Roncalli. Game starts at 7:18 start time. Roncalli with a initial steal and possession. Up the sideline, Battiston cuts inside. Now working her way toward the middle against pressure, trying to get on that right foot. Her shot is blocked and deflected out to the wing. Game time temperature 86 degrees. Very balmy tonight.
Oh, it feels worse than 86.
Heat index a little bit higher than that. Roncalli steals it back. The cross, though, is knocked down right in front of the 6-yard box. Burkhart tried to get there, but it's scooped up by Garrett. Punted out toward midfield and shy. Searing will hold it back in. Ball tried to be flipped ahead to Burkhart down there, Madison down the sideline, but it trickles out of bounds, and Whiteland takes the throw. High pressure early, Sam, from Roncalli.
It appears that Maurice is running a 3 in the back formation as to get more people ahead on offense. That's a strategy I hope that works out for him.
Ball held in by Burkhart. Battiston maintains possession, finds Pruitt as they move the ball left to the far sideline. Trying to keep it in play and can't. That's Shield, one of the 3 in the back. And the possession change takes it back to Whiteland here in the early going. Just 2 minutes in, 40-minute halves here in high school soccer. Across the way, that's Emmerich. Up the sideline, her pass tried to thread through, but it's taken away by Roncalli. Here comes Pruitt the other way. Flips it up the sideline, but a little too far and out of the grasp of Kelly into the Whiteland bench. Throw is knocked down near midfield, and Pruitt immediately regains possession. Knocked off the ball, but maintains. Taps it too far ahead, but Searing able to hold it in. Searing takes a shot. It's a through ball, but it's a little too far ahead.
A little too much.
A little too far out in front of Kelly, and trickles off the end line for the first goal kick of the night. McKinley Garrett, the freshman, obviously playing in her first high school game. We mentioned Emma Agresta, the sophomore goaltender for Roncalli. Played in 10 games last year, made 44 saves. Goal kick is held in, and Roncalli has a quick possession and a chance here. Dietz in the corner, working inside the box, turns back, and no teammate there, but Searing able to hold it in, and the ball knocked down. Dietz pokes it in front in the 6-yard box. The ball bouncing around. Roncalli trying to get possession. It's poked at and saved. Boy, Kelly got a foot on it, but not able to get all of her power behind it, and that's just enough for Garrett to make a save. But a good first chance for Roncalli.
Goal kick is high and short.
Roncalli still holding it in, and the ball has spent very little time, Sam, in his first 3 minutes on the Whiteland end.
I like to see that Roncalli is keeping the pressure high early.
Dietz working the middle of the field, turns and shoots, but puts it wide of the bar. And another goal kick, but yeah, the possession has heavily favored Roncalli in this first 3.5 minutes.
I don't believe Whiteland's gotten the ball across their own half yet.
Goal kick for Garrett, trying to measure up which way she wants to go with it. She hits a ground ball that Whiteland can't keep possession. It's knocked out on the near sideline. Roncalli will have a deep throw-in up the near touchline. Ball got loose. So we'll wait for someone to run it down. Boy,
I think that one went to
she was gone a long time. That ball must have rolled to the parking lot.
Throw right to the top of the box.
Shilton with the throw, trying to work her way into a shot, but can't. Ball deflected out, but held in nicely by Shield. And she reverses field over to Kelly. Kelly had it knocked loose. But Roncalli will keep the pressure on and have a throw in. On the far side. Kelly looks in the corner. Ball deflected loose. Whiteland has possession momentarily, but Pruitt holds it in. She throws it into the box, and a shot is on goal. It's in!
It's in.
Put in by Babcock. That's Marina Babcock with the goal.
That little goal brought to you by number 19, Marina.
Marina Babcock with the goal. Just 3.5 minutes in.
Setting the tone early. That's what I like to see.
So Babcock, who we mentioned at the top, 4.5 minutes in. We mentioned at the top of the broadcast that Babcock led the team in goals, and Roncalli with the quick steal and more pressure the other way. Babcock lost the handle, but Searing able to hold it in. Tried to leap for Shilton. And Witherington is there. Pokes it into the Roncalli end, but Shield watches it roll off the far side. Throw in is headed back into Roncalli territory. Pruitt fighting on the far sideline with Turcotte. And it'll be Whiteland possession. 1-0, Roncalli leads early in this season opener. Pruitt throws it ahead. It's a foot race to the loose ball. Dietz trying to get there, and she does. Maintains possession, looking for help. Teammates in pursuit. Dietz turns and shoots, and the ball knocked down
Good look.
right in front of the 6-yard box by Garrett. Fourth shot already by Roncalli.
They're getting off a lot of good looks early.
Whiteland throws it back toward midfield. And Scudder is dispossessed by Pruitt. Pruitt weaving her way through defenders. Works to the far sideline. Looking for an outlet. And drops it off to Kelly, and Kelly was offsides. Flag goes up on the far side for the linesman. Linesman on the far side was our match official for the JV contest, which Roncalli won 4-0 over Southport. Whiteland does not have a JV program, so Southport coming over to give Roncalli's JVs an early tune-up.
You know, Rob, that was a bit confusing because Southport's JV team was also wearing white jerseys,
They
so
were.
I was under the impression that we were playing Southport tonight.
Roncalli fighting for it. Difference is Southport's had red shorts on. Whiteland in the all-whites. Babcock is dispossessed, but the ball held in by Burkhart. Burkhart throws it to the top of the box. Loose ball falls to Dietz. She puts it on frame. That's blocked and saved. Picked up nicely by Garrett, who's already made 3 saves, the freshman. Dietz with a couple shots here in the first 5.5 minutes. Ball fed to the other end. And Roncalli, Dietz is onside at the top of the box, heads it to herself, but nice play by the freshman Garrett to come out and take it about 16 yards in front of her goal line. Punts it ahead. Ball takes a high carom off the turf. Pruitt fighting for it, but it's Hazelwood who comes away for Whiteland. Drops it back to Lee. Shilton knocks it free momentarily. And the ball knocked to the far sideline. Here comes Whiteland with their first sustained possession of the night. Up the far side is Emmerich. Tried to feed it ahead. But back on defense to knock it free is Prather. Off the touch line, it goes to Whiteland. That's the first real possession, Sam, that Whiteland has had tonight.
Roncalli's been keeping the pressure on early. It's been hard for him to get control possession on the attacking half.
Roncalli gets it back on the throw. That's Shield who sends it out toward midfield. Ball knocked loose, and Roncalli maintains possession. 1-0 the score. Roncalli leads. Marina Babcock's goal, the first of the season. She led the team with 5 last year as a sophomore. Shield on the throw, finds Pruitt. And Pruitt takes it away, maintains possession, and slams it off the shin of the defender out of bounds. Another throw for Roncalli, but this one deeper into Whiteland territory. Throw goes in. Dietz tries to settle. Shilton had it knocked loose by Lee. Lee working her way through the middle third. Hits it ahead. Two Lees out there, Sydney Lee and Florence Lee, I should specify. Florence Lee is in the back. Dietz rushing to this loose ball. Runs it down in the near side corner, but needs help. And could not control it before it rolled off the touch line. Linesman was all over that call. That looked to be a good one.
It did.
So Whiteland will have a throw deep in its own half. Looking for Florence Lee, but Shilton has the loose ball, and she reverses field to Kelly, who's wide open. Kelly has room up the right side, puts it on the frame, but it's wide of the mark, and it rolls off the end line.
That one wasn't far off.
Boy, Kelly had plenty of room to operate over there, and a nice job by Shilton to reverse the action because the defense had come to the near side and was caught out of position. Shilton holds the goal kick into the Whiteland half, looking to attack. Lost the handle, it's knocked free. And Whiteland
Couldn't keep it
defender
in.
rushing to keep it in. That's Emmerich, but she couldn't get there. I'd say right now, Sam, the loneliest person in the ballpark is Agresta, the Roncalli goalie.
Yes, it would appear that she is. She has a great view of the game from the 20-yard line, though.
Dietz trying to settle, turn and shoot, and she put it in the lower right corner. Make that the lower left corner. Either way, it's a goal for Dietz. Nice turn and settle.
That's 2 Rebel goals in the first 10 minutes.
So that's 10 minutes and 37 seconds in. Dietz with the goal. She had 4 last year. Second on the team. As a sophomore, she had 14.
Wow.
And was an all-county and all-conference performer. She's got it again up the near side. Ball poked free by the defender Witherington, one of 2 players returning, full-time varsity players returning for Whiteland. 2-0 our score. About 12 minutes into this one. Season opener. Shilton working on the far sideline, knocked to the deck. And Whiteland has the ball. Sydney Lee is shouldered off the ball nicely by Searing. Nice side foot pass to Burkhart at the top of the box. Burkhart trying to get free to load it up, but can't find the space. Ball carries free. Pruitt puts it on frame, but Dietz is there, can't get there. Who has a good ball.
That was a good ball.
Garrett got to it just a hair early.
Great vision.
Pruitt trying to hold it in. Pruitt wearing the captain's armband down there. Actually, she and Searing both. Along with Dietz, 3 captains for Roncalli. 3 seniors. Searing holds it in nicely. Feeds it up the left side. Battison gets it back from Dietz. Battison staying onside. Tried to turn to the corner. Ball knocked free, and she'll watch it roll off the near touchline. Deep throw in for Roncalli with a 2-0 lead in this first half.
Searing's all alone at the top of the box.
Searing has it to herself, trying to get into open space. Knocked off the ball by Sydney Lee. The ball comes free to Pruitt. She puts it on the frame, but it drifts wide to the left. 7th shot of the night for Roncalli. Boy, this has just been constant pressure from Roncalli offensively tonight. Garrett, goal kick, deflects, but Whiteland maintains possession. Whiteland working up the far side. Room to run for Emmerich. Hits it ahead. But the Roncalli defense is back. That's Prather. And the ball deflects off the touchline by Emmerich. Prather staying alert back there. That's a tricky thing tonight for the defenders, Sam. Roncalli has held possession for so long. It'd be very easy for the defenders to fall asleep.
Yes. And they're pushing so far up. They're almost pushing all the way to their own half that it would be easy if Whiteland could get a ball over the top for them to get beat just because they played too far up.
Meanwhile, Shilton hit a ball ahead to Dietz. Dietz working in the box, but runs into a double team. Still able to maintain possession. Now flips it back to Searing at the top of the box. Jean cuts inside. On the left foot, swings it back out front, but the defender is first there. And she hits it ahead to Hazelwood. Hazelwood trying to get to midfield, and Pruitt is back. Ball fed to midfield for Whiteland, and too heavy a touch by Scudder. Sends it back to Schultz. Nice ball ahead to Dietz, but a heavy touch. Deflects ahead. Roncalli maintains. Battiston gets free with the left foot, trying to get it back in the middle, but no one there in a blue shirt. And Whiteland takes it away. Searing first to the loose ball. Beats Holiday to it. Drops it back to Burkhart. Battiston working the middle of the field to Shilton. Kiara Shilton has time. Hits a heavy shot that blocked. She gets it back. Tries to chip one in, and it floats over the crossbar.
That first shot that got deflected looked like it might have been a handball.
It certainly was on the frame. Couple subs in for Whiteland. Get the numbers here when they turn around. The numbers on the front of the jersey are so small, and we're a half a mile away. Katie Dimmock is on for Whiteland, number 34 on the near side. Goal kick held in by Searing. Now Dimmock, her first touch as Whiteland tries to get it the other way. Goes through the legs of Pruitt. That's number 21, Gareen Calcott, who's also subbed in. Ball knocked ahead, and a rare touch in her own half for Burkhart. Deflects it off of Dimmock, and now Battiston works the other way. Dietz lets it roll through. Now she's got a foot race to the ball. She'll get to it first in the left corner, but waiting for reinforcements. Sends it into the box. Nothing there but white shirts, and she was off the inline. So a goal kick? No, and offsides. Oh, my.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that. I didn't see that. Did you?
No. No, I did not. We have a pretty good view from up here, too.
So Dietz whistled offside.
Wait.
Oh, they called that a goal kick. Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
yeah,
that makes sense.
That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, our linesman on the far side said that Dietz's touch went off the end line. So that makes sense. I could see that. I don't know that any player in a blue shirt, Sam, so far has covered more ground than Pruitt.
Oh, I would agree. She's been everywhere.
Roncalli again pressure, and this Dietz lets it run through, but puts it on the frame right in the middle.
It's a great
and
look.
It's smothered up by Garrett, but that's a nice feed in front. 10th shot already for Roncalli, unofficially. Forced save for the freshman goalkeeper Garrett for Whiteland. Ball held in. Nearing the halfway mark of this first half, 2-0 Roncalli leads. And the ball rolls too far. Witherington lets it roll off the end line for another Whiteland goal kick. Sub on for Whiteland.
It's number 8.
That's number 8, who is not on our roster. That's always a play-by-play guy's worst nightmare.
A mystery player.
We'll roll with that as best we can. Pruitt holds the goal kick in. Leaves for Searing. Roncalli operating out toward midfield. Scheel on the pass back from Searing, trying to get free and find an angle. Prather operating in the middle of that 3 in the back for Roncalli.
They have their defensive line pushed all the way up to the 50-yard line. Nice
dispossessed by Scheel. Battiston with an odd number rush for Roncalli, but too heavy a touch, and it's poked ahead by Whiteland. Burkhart will watch it roll off the near touch. Burkhart, one of 5 seniors in the lineup. Roncalli has yet to substitute so far tonight. Whiteland has sent on 3. Battiston directs it back toward the middle, deflects right back to Battiston. She watches it trickle off the near side. .22 minutes to go in the first half, nearing the halfway mark. 2-0 Roncalli leads. Long throw out to midfield and Pruitt. 1v2, she sends it out to open space, and Scheel up the far side.
You know, they've done a really good job of keeping their spacing on the field. I think that might be part of the reason why Whiteland can't get anything going.
Whiteland dispossesses Pruitt, but Riley with a nice hustle gets it right back. Again, she has been everywhere, has Pruitt in this first half. Ball held back in by Shield. Searing redirects to Battison working that left side. Dietz calling for it in the middle. Battison trying to get over there. Battison weaving her way toward the middle of the field. Cuts back. Sends it in the middle to Shilton. Shilton trying to get free for a shot and can't. Knocked to the floor, and the other way, here comes Whiteland. And Whiteland sub back in. See if we can get a number. Whiteland has the throw in the meantime.
It's number 18.
And we don't have an 18 on the roster either. That's
wow.
Dandy.
Wow.
I'm going to make an adjustment.
Yeah, I'm 1, he's 2. Ball bouncing near midfield. 50-50 ball won by Roncalli. Kelly chips it toward the middle. And that goes to Babcock, but she was offside. So rule too high on the line was, or too far down, I should say, Babcock, who had the first goal of tonight, just 4.5 minutes in. Dietz with a goal 6 minutes later for this 2-0 advantage. In high school soccer, Sam, they count the clock down.
Yes.
Which confuses me because you watch soccer, you watch professional soccer on television.
Counts
and
up.
It counts up. So you're constantly doing that math in your
Yeah.
head. That goal was in the 5th minute?
Even though there were 35 minutes on the clock.
Correct. Searing holds that goal kick in, hits it too far ahead. And Garrett out off her line to come get it. Doesn't get much on the punt, and Dietz tries to hold it in. Looking for blue shirts and reinforcements. Shilton comes to get it. Now Kiara has possession, cuts inside. Feeds it in the middle, but nobody there in a blue shirt. Whiteland sends it out. Only halfway to the midfield line. Searing knocks the ball loose. Now Jean on the run toward the middle of the field. Hits it ahead to Dietz, but a little too heavy. It's the right idea on that through ball, but it rolls off the inline for another Whiteland goal kick. No corners, no fouls in this game so far.
That's something you don't see very often.
Well, we're just past the halfway mark of the first half. Ball held in by Dimmock for Whiteland, but her pass to the near side to a teammate can't be collected. And another Roncalli throw. Battison handles this one. Gives to Babcock. She and Shilton working together. Nice job by Prather to step up and knock it free. And again, Sam, you see that high line for the 3 in the back for Roncalli, working out near midfield to hold it in. Kelly tries the 1-2 with Pruitt, but a little too heavy with it. But Searing with a nice play to cut off the crossfield ball. Ahead to Battison. Roncalli with a number advantage, working toward the top of the box. The ball squirts free to Kelly. Back to Battison for the 1-2, and the shot is wide. That was a nice back and forth there,
nice
though.
Give and go there. Yeah.
Battison to Kelly. And Olivia fed it right back. 11 shots for Roncalli. Actually make that 13. I probably should count the 2 shots they scored on.
Yep, yeah, those
I didn't count
those technically count.
I didn't count those in my shot count. So it's 13 shots to 0. If you're keeping track. Whiteland throw on the far side. Just over 17 minutes left in this first half of the season opening fixture from Roncalli.
I believe Maurice just sent his first substitute in.
Oh, I didn't catch the number. Did you catch it?
That would be freshman Arissa Vaughn. Sophomore Arissa Vaughn.
Okay, number 13. Good catch. Thank you for that. Coach Shilton sending in the freshman. Sophomore, excuse me. There are 3 freshmen on the roster. Ball knocked free. That's Vaughn with the possession. Had it momentarily but knocked loose. Burkhart lost it but got it right back. Now working her way into open space. Burkhart on a run from the back line. Dispossessed momentarily, but Babcock tried to hold it in. Knocked ahead. Sydney Lee for Whiteland. Ball fed near midfield. Prather is there to clean it up. But Whiteland gets it right back. Ball fed toward midfield, and Prather knocks it into open space. Foot race to the loose ball. Searing's got it. And Jean drops it back to Burkhart. Prather working in the middle of that defensive back line of three.
It's a dangerous play.
Shield to her right, and Burkhart to her left. Battison to the middle of the field. Now Vaughn has some room to operate. Hits it to the far side, and Kelly. Kelly racing to the end line, gets a nice cross into the front of the box. The ball squirts loose, and Dietz will tap it in for her second goal of the night.
I was just making sure that he wasn't going to throw the flag up for offsides, but she was indeed onside.
Yep, you wondered. And the goalkeeper, Garrett, got a hand on Kelly's cross, but Dietz was there to clean it up as the ball clattered loose from the goalkeeper, Garrett. Dietz has her second goal of the night. And it's 3-0 Roncalli. Dietz had 3 multi-goal games as a sophomore in that 14-goal season. 2 goals on the night. She now has 22 in her 4-year varsity career. That's pretty good. 22. That's not bad, right?
No, that's
good.
That's a pretty high number.
Mentioned Roncalli will be back in action on the road on Wednesday night at Warren Central. And then back here at home on Saturday morning against Columbus East. Throwing for Roncalli deep in Whiteland half. Kelly handles the throw, taking a little bit of a run up. Takes the throw backwards to Vaughn. Ball loose near the top of the box. Vaughn is first to it for Roncalli. Trying to move to the open space on the near touch line. Drops it back to Burkhart. Burkhart to the middle of the field and Pruitt. Pruitt surveys and finds Babcock in an empty spot in the middle of the field. Babcock working into open space, trying to get off a shot. She does, and it's in! Second goal of the night for Marina Babcock. You could see where she was going with that, Sam, trying to get the ball on that right foot, turn and get space. And Babcock, her second goal of the night. So Babcock and Dietz each have a brace in this first half. Roncalli holds it. Ooh, nice play by Kelly to knock the ball around a defender and keep going. Whiteland gets possession in the deep corner, but really nowhere to go. Oh, nice play by that defender in the corner. She poked it through the legs of Kelly initially, but it rolled off the touchline, and Roncalli will have the throw. 13 minutes to go in this first half. 4-0 our score. Dietz back to Kelly. Hits it to the top of the box. A heavy touch by Vaughn. But Dietz keeps it in, chips it toward the goal, and it goes off the end line.
A little too much.
I don't think that was a shot. I think she was just trying to throw it up in the air out front for a teammate, you think? Goal kick for the freshman keeper, Garrett, looking right into that sun.
That's got to be unbearable.
That's why you take the sun field here you keep the sun at your back in the first half.
Ooh. That was a rough challenge.
No fouls yet in this game. Throw for Roncalli. Burkhart to Vaughn in the open space. Ball caroms high and collected by Babcock, who has 2 goals so far tonight. Babcock gives to Pruitt. Pruitt negotiates to the far side, and Kelly. Kelly to the end line, too heavy with it, and a corner. First corner of the night. So Roncalli will take the corner. A little over 12 minutes remaining in the first half. It's like Kelly will handle the corner for Roncalli in the far right. Typically a right-footed player from that angle. Sam will swing it out toward the top of the box.
Yes.
And it does just that. Garrett came off her line. The ball comes through the 6-yard box and caroms to the corner. Dietz lets it roll off, and a corner is ruled again for Roncalli. This time they'll take it on the left side. And let's see who that is. That's Vaughn who takes it. And the opposite is true here. A right-footed player from that angle will swing it in toward the goal.
Yes.
Vaughn gets good air on it. And the ball deflects off the defender for Whiteland. That's an own goal. It went over the hands of the goalkeeper, Garrett, and deflected right off the chest of the defender, Haley Ock. And so the own goal will make it 5-0 Roncalli.
You know,
you hate to see that.
I was just about to say, from that corner, when you get a right-footed player, if they have a big enough leg, they can sometimes swing it right into the goal from that. If you can get enough curve and enough power, you can get it right in the goal.
Well, Vaughn got great elevation on that ball, and she did what you want the player taking that kick to do. Put it in the air and make it difficult for the goalkeeper to track.
Yes.
And that's exactly what she did.
Kelly's away on the far side there.
And it rolls just off the end line. She put a nice ball in front for Dietz, but it rolled off the end line before she collected. 5-0 our score. 10 minutes to go in the first half from Roncalli Stadium. So happy you're with us tonight. Hope you can join us tomorrow night. We'll be indoors where it will be much cooler. We can promise you the air conditioning will be on at the Woodshed. For volleyball action, Lawrence North comes calling. Good program from the northeast side. Come down here and take on Missy Marsh's Lady Rebels. 6:30 our start time for that one. Stefan Welsh and Quinn Welsh on the call.
Is that the season opener?
They lost in 4 games at Franklin Central on Saturday, so they'll be looking for win number 1. That's the first foul of the game on Roncalli. Vaughn called for a foul. Deemed by our match official to be a little too aggressive on that challenge. And Sam and I will be back here for more football action on Thursday night. Orfeo Demizio in his first season as the boys head coach will have his team in here to take on Southport. That will be the boys' 3rd game of the season. They lost 3-1 here in the opener to a very good Center Grove team on Saturday. Boys will be back at it here tomorrow night at 7 o'clock against Franklin Central. It's always a big rivalry game.
Of course.
That game is, I don't think I'm speaking out of school when I say that game is historically very physical.
Oh, yes. It's
cards abounding.
Unlike this game, there will be a lot of whistle blowing in that game.
First deep possession for Whiteland, but Roncalli's defense up to the challenge. Now there's a rush the other way. Whiteland defense hustling back. Olivia Kelly working the far side. Gets in the middle to Vaughn. Ball knocked free. We've got another sub in for Roncalli. That's number 29. Yoslin Fonseca is in the ball game. She's in there in that defensive back 3. Fonseca, a senior. Ball knocked loose, and Pruitt finally comes up with it, but match official determines that Babcock was a little too aggressive on the challenge.
I don't know about that. I think the aggression was about equal between both parties.
8 minutes to go in the first half. Roncalli leads this opener 5-0. Searing heads it back toward midfield. Battiston collects. Sends ahead of the through ball, but a little too heavy. And off her end line is the keeper, Garrett, with a nice clear. Searing heads it back in. And Searing steps in the passing lane and deflects it out. Whiteland to handle the throw. Sub in for Whiteland. Hopefully it'll be someone we have at jersey number 4.
3.
That's Trinity Hazelwood, who's back in. She was one of our starting 11 for Whiteland. Florence Lee is back in for Whiteland as well. She battled with Battiston on that loose ball and won the possession as the ball judged to go off of Battiston last. Throw in for Whiteland, 5-0 the score. Ball knocked free. Searing knees it ahead. And the ball headed out of bounds by Molly Baker, sophomore defender for Whiteland. 5-0 our score. 2 goals for Marina Babcock, 2 goals for Sophia Dietz, and an own goal account for the 5 Roncalli tallies. Loose ball picked up by Dietz, rushing toward the end line, looking for a cross. And she puts it in front. Ball ricochets. And, Babcock put a heavy foot into it and hicked it well over the crossbar, but she got all of it and then some and actually rolled into the woods at the east end. They'll need to send a search party out for that one. That ball coated in poison ivy at this point.
I wouldn't pick that up.
Now I'm going to let that one go. 14th shot on goal. Or 14th shot, I should say, for Roncalli. Dietz working the middle out top of the box, trying to get on the right foot. Cuts it back inside. Now puts a left foot shot on goal. Nice block and save by Garrett.
She's had her work cut out for her in this first half.
Well, she has. She's done a great, rare would you say a goalkeeper has given up 5 that the goalkeeper's done a nice job, but Garrett really has.
She really has.
Roncalli's had her under constant pressure. We have 5 minutes to go in the half, and I would say probably of the first 35 minutes, 33 and change have been spent at the Whiteland end.
I would agree with that 100%.
Ball put in the box to Battiston, goes over her head, but Searing runs it down and maintains Roncalli possession. Vaughn gives to Pruitt. Pruitt loads up a shot, put right on the net. Dietz ran in to try and collect the carom, and Garrett able to smother it up. Garrett has 6 saves here in this first half. Goal kick, or the punt, I should say, held in by Roncalli. Vaughn has it. Out front to Babcock. Babcock room to operate. That's not a good idea for Whiteland. Babcock drops it for Pruitt. Battiston now with it. Cuts inside on the defender. Battiston trying to get on the left foot. Had it knocked free. First to it, though, is Vaughn. Searing settles. Now Vaughn has room to run. Kept it in play up the near touch line. Vaughn sends it into the front of the 6-yard box. It deflects out to Battiston. Battiston settles. Cuts inside, working against 2 defenders. Poked free. Vaughn puts it on net, blocked. And Florence Lee clears it out. 17 shots unofficially for Roncalli in the first half. Ball knocked into the Whiteland bench. And it will be Roncalli possession with about 3.5 minutes to go in this first half. Dietz trying to run down the loose ball. Ball kept in play. Dietz able to steer it back out front. Babcock's shot's blocked. Nice play by the defender there. Babcock was going to put one on the frame, but she was met right at contact by the foot of Molly Baker.
This will be the third corner.
Third corner of the game for Roncalli. That's Kelly on the take, right?
I believe so,
Yep.
Yes.
Roncalli has 4 players in front of the 6-yard box. Good high ball by Kelly, but it curves
Out of bounds.
Out of bounds. Goal kick. 5-0 our score. Good camera work there behind that goal kick to see the angle of that curve. Great crew working with us tonight. Gene Searing holds the goal kick in. Baddison over to Pruitt. Riley, room to shoot, and she puts it wide. 19 shots is what I've got, Sam, unofficially.
I'll take your word for it.
Fair enough. Maddie Nelson, Nick McCary on our cameras tonight. Jack Wardzala handling the director chores. Delaney Cassie on the graphics. Drew Willis is our production assistant, and Teresa Coker, our assistant producer. Our fine crew this evening. Talk more about them later. Again, Roncalli holds the goal kick in. Just the pressure is constant. Pruitt fed it ahead to Kelly, but Kelly was offsides. And that's a Whiteland goal kick with about 100 seconds to go in the first half. 5-0 is our score. Excited to have Drew Nealis on with us at halftime.
That should be a treat.
Former Rebel defender. He'll come on and break down the first half with us. Look forward to that. Drew with his sunglasses on, probably the coolest man in the building, despite the temperature. Roncalli still with possession. Ball goes off the end line, and that's a goal kick. That's Vaughn working down there on the end line. Less than a minute in this first half. Best goal kick of the night. That one elevated, but Searing able to chest it and keep it in. Baddison had it knocked free. Baddison goes to the floor momentarily. Ball held in by Vaughn. Vaughn trying to get into open space. Baddison picks up the loose ball. Tries to get back open, but she's knocked off the ball by Sydney Lee. Lee pokes it ahead. That's Lexi Crisp who's in the game, working the far side. And the ball trickles out of bounds. All last touch by Fonseca of Roncalli. 19 seconds to go. Pat Crosley on our PA will count it down. 5-0 our score. 2 goals each for Sophia Dietz and Marina Babcock.
8, 7,
Ball threaded through. Dietz tried to get to it, but the goalkeeper with a nice play off her line sends it out toward midfield. And that will bring an end to the first half of this season opener from Roncalli Stadium. Our score here at the intermission. Roncalli's Lady Rebels 5, Whiteland 0. Stay tuned. We'll step out for 2 minutes. And when we come back, we'll have all of our halftime festivities. We'll be joined by former Rebel defender great Drew Nealis to break it all down for us when we return after this on the Rebel Media Network. And welcome back at halftime, Roncalli Stadium. Roncalli's Lady Rebels leading Whiteland here at the intermission. 5-0 our score in this season opener. Rob Brown, Sam Brown with you. We're pleased to be joined here at halftime by former Roncalli Rebel defender Drew Nealis. Offer us some expertise, supplement Sam Brown's expertise in the beautiful game. Let's talk about what you guys saw in that first half. We talked a lot, Sam, during that first half that Roncalli really dictated the possession by having their three in the back playing almost up at midfield and just kind of acting as a wall to ping-pong everything back into that Whiteland half.
Yeah, they kept they very much indeed pulled a high line trying to keep the possession on the attacking half, but clearly it worked out for them. I don't think Whiteland spent more than, a minute and a half, maybe two on their attacking side, so I think they go into the second half keeping that same pressure.
When you talk about offensively, Roncalli with 5 goals, one of them an own goal. Drew, what did you see? What was Roncalli doing specifically on offense to open up those opportunities from a scoring standpoint?
I think the main part is controlling the midfield. They were able to then facilitate the balls out kind of towards the corner, which then allowed them to play the balls back in to get a ball around in the 6 area.
When you think about having this 5-0 lead now, I'm guessing when you've been in this situation as a player, the coach is going to tell you you want to keep possession, but there's really no need to continue to score. It's mainly about when you've got to lead this big to keep the possession and just let the clock roll in your favor.
Yeah, that's huge. I think what they really need to focus on is just control the ball, especially in the midfield, because, playing 3 back, you can always sometimes get one of the other team's forward gets loose, and I think they did play. They were recycling the ball good too, and so just kind of keeping it in the middle, and every once in a while you can get a run and maybe get a late goal or something like that. But
and Sam, you and I talked during the first half. This is a little bit of a trap situation if you're a defender because the ball has been down at the Whiteland end so frequently. It's very easy to kind of fall asleep and let your guard down and let the ball get pushed deep into your own half, whereas you really got to be alert to kind of keep the pressure on and kind of anchor down at midfield and keep throwing it back into the offensive third.
I think with the lead they established in the first half, I wouldn't be shocked if Maurice foregoed the 3 in the back for a 4 in the back for a more defensive-minded second half. Seeing that there's no reason to continue scoring, I think it wouldn't be very shocking if he was more defensive and possession oriented in the second half.
Drew, some final thoughts on what you expect to see here in the second half?
I expect to see just a lot of possession. Like Sam said, probably 4 in the back would be. We might see that maybe not to start off the half, but maybe later in the half, just to control the lead. But I think as long as they just keep doing what they're doing, attacking and just playing the balls to the corners and not try and just play 3 balls and run onto them, because that doesn't work too much.
Well, we appreciate Drew Nealis coming by the booth, former Roncalli defender, a man who never met a challenge he did not like. We appreciate Drew stopping by. We appreciate you being with us here tonight. We're going to take a 2-minute break here and come back with the start of the second half after this on the Rebel Media Network. welcome back to Roncalli Stadium. Second half about to unfold. And Roncalli's Lady Rebels leading Whiteland 5-0. Rob Brown, Sam Brown with you. Appreciate you spending part of your Monday night with us, getting the week started. Roncalli will head left to right across your screen toward the west end zone, west goal, having possession to start this second half. See some new faces out there for Roncalli with this 4-0 lead. We'll give you those names when we get, as we work our way through. Jean Searing operating. Sophia Sarin is in. She hits it ahead. That's Catherine Madriz working the middle of the field on the front line with Sophia Dietz. Searing keeps it in. Jean cuts it across, trying to find Shilton. Dietz puts it off the crossbar. Ball still free. Madriz came flying in with a high right foot. And Garrett, the goalkeeper, was able to finally scoop it up. Oh, my.
That was a great look.
Dietz smoked that one off the crossbar. I think that surprised everyone. Well, a goal kick was called. And what's the call there?
You call a handball?
Handball. Indeed. Handball the call. New Pal leading Perry Meridian 3-0 on a soccer score. Gets some other scores as we roll through. Whiteland with possession, poked free. It's a foot race to the loose ball. Stella Holiday, and that's Minna Burkhart. Roncalli regains possession. Pruitt operating up the far side, and a foul is called. I'm not sure why he pulled that one back, Sam.
Yeah, I would have thought he would have let that play
Pruitt
on.
ran through that challenge and seemed to gather momentum. Usually you see the play on symbol for that, but they pulled it back, as they say. That's the first foul of the night on Whiteland. Agresta comes up to take the free kick. That might be the first time Agresta's touched the ball.
That's the most action she's had all night.
50-50 balls clattering around at midfield. Hazelwood overruns it for Whiteland, and Pruitt picks it up for Roncalli. Pruitt rushing past defenders, shedding defenders, still has it, pokes it across the field to Searing. Jean with a quick touch inside to Madriz, and the ball cleared out only as far as Pruitt, who gets it right back on the give and go. Pruitt overruns and falls over the top of the ball. She is slow to get up and limping a little bit as Battiston fights free for it, but called for a foul as she dispossessed Florence Lee. Have to keep an eye on Pruitt there, Sam. She ran right over the top of the ball and favoring that right leg when she got up. Free kick for Whiteland goes off of Madriz's back, and Roncalli quickly regains possession. Battiston to the middle of the field. Finds Dietz, the one-touch back to Battiston. Battiston regains, drops the ball to Madriz in the left corner. Catherine runs it down, keeps it in. Sends it back toward the goal. But it's scooped up on the near post. Goal kick the call. The ball rolled off the end line before Madriz was able to throw it toward the near post. $5-0 our score. Roncalli getting 4 goals in the first half, 2 apiece from Sophia Dietz and Marina Babcock. And then an own goal by Whiteland's defense was the 5th goal of the night. Ball knocked off the far touchline. Roncalli maintains. Burkhart on the throw out toward midfield. Shilton taps over to Pruitt.
I'm surprised that Coach Shilton came out of the break with the same offensive aggression that he had in the first half. Still pushing a high line up towards midfield, and they're still going for chances.
Well, I think anytime, whether it's soccer or football or basketball, anytime you get a big lead, the tricky thing as a coach is to decide how much you want to continue to force the issue offensively. But when you have different players in, like Madriz is in for the first time tonight, Sophia Saran is in for the first time tonight. When you got new players in, you can't tell somebody that doesn't get to play much or doesn't get to start to come into the game and go half speed. They want to go full speed.
Oh, no, I understand that.
Yep. Ball knocked out. Sarah Turcotte, one of the Whiteland captains, with the throw. Toward midfield, not free. And Fonseca switches the field to Battis. Hits it ahead to Sarin. She hits it through a defender's legs, but it rolls to the end line and scooped up by the goalkeeper. Sydney Horton, the freshman, is back there in the middle of that three in the back. We did not see her in the first half. So a couple new faces out there for Roncalli. Horton, Sarin, Madriz. Dietz still out there. She's got 2 goals. Sarin has time to take a look and settle and hits it too heavy off the end line. I think she wanted to hook that toward the top of the box, Sam.
Yeah. I just don't think she got to hit the ball the way she wanted to.
And Sophia Dietz checking out. You might presume she'd be done for the evening with 2 goals in this 5-0 lead.
One would think.
She gets a nice pat on the back and handshake from her head coach, Maurice Shilton. Marissa Vaughn has come on for Dietz. Vaughn saw some extensive action in the back 20 minutes of that first half. Vaughn, her first touch of the second half, working the near sideline. Stop and go move. Nice move to get into some open space. Working toward the end line, sends it back toward the 6-yard box. The ball squirts free. Pruitt on the run up, pokes at it, and sends it over the crossbar. Good chance.
Good chance. She just didn't get over the top of it as much as she would have liked to.
Soon as Pruitt saw that ball coming back toward the top of the 6-yard box, she knew exactly what she wanted to do with it. But I would think, Sam, especially when that ball is bouncing on the artificial surface, it's very difficult to keep your foot on top of it.
Yeah, the turf is hard. It's hard to judge the bounce of the ball. It's kind of hard to predict. It's a lot easier on real grass to predict how high or how low the ball is going to bounce coming down.
Foul whistle on the Lady Rebels, so a free kick for Whiteland. 8 minutes into the second half, 5-0 our score. Battiston sends it ahead. Madriz up the far sideline with a head of steam. Working toward the end line. Sends it back toward the middle. Great setup and tap-in goal. Ho, what a play. Madriz with speed up the left side and a beautiful pass in front to Vaughn. And the sophomore, Arissa Vaughn, puts it away for the 6th goal of the night.
Michael scored by number 13, so Vaughn.
And that's the first time we've seen that tonight, Sam, in that most of the goals that we've seen, the previous 4 goals that Roncalli has scored, have all been off individual efforts.
Solo goals, yes.
But that was a great setup, great pass and assist from Madriz, and a great tap-in finish by Vaughn. 6-0 our score. Goal kick. Ball held in. Roncalli still with it. Ball. And Vaughn has it, drops it back to Saran. Shilton had it knocked loose. And now at the top of the box, Madriz tries to turn on it. Ball hit free, and it's finally scooped up by the goalkeeper. 6-0 our score. Searing, one-on-one move, gets by the defender. Jean sends it back toward the middle of the box. Vaughn taps at it, can't get possession. Shilton has a hack at it, gets up back on the deflection, another deflection. And the ball rolls into the corner. Shilton scoops it up. Ball put on the frame, and it deflects off of a Whiteland defender. Off the end line, it'll be a goal kick, or corner kick rather. Fourth of the night for Roncalli. See who takes that kick. It's like Vaughn.
Yep.
Will take it. Roncalli's had some good chances. Good balls in the air on these corner kicks. Vaughn with some good air off the back post, but nobody there in a blue shirt. Burkhart, the defender, comes off her back line to tap it in, and a run-up blast, and it's off the crossbar.
I think that
looked like it went in.
It did.
And it did. A late indication. That ball hit the crossbar, ricocheted down.
Sophia Saran.
Sophia Saran with the goal. So a late indication on that.
Michael score by number 36, Sophia Saran.
Sophia Saran, the sophomore, scores the goal. It's the 7th of the night. She scored in the JV game as well. Thanks to that tidbit from our PA announcer, Pat Crosley, tonight. JV team beat Southport earlier this evening 4-0. So 7-0 our score. 3 goals here. 3 goals here in this second half. Shilton operating in the midfield. Tried to find a ball through. The deflection goes to Vaughn. Vaughn drops to Saran. And Saran hits it into the box, but it rolls right to the goalkeeper. New goalkeeper in the game. Could not tell you for the life of me who that is. I'm going to guess it's Sydney Peagy. Has to be. Only other goalkeeper on the roster. .28 minutes and change left in this game. 7-0 our score, and handball called on the defender Florence Lee. So now Roncalli will have a free kick.
They're deciding amongst themselves who's going to take it.
About 25 yards from goal. Straight away on the angle, it looks like Vaughn will take it. 2 goals here in this second half. I said 3 earlier. It's 2. Whiteland builds the wall 10 yards back. Vaughn puts it on the frame. It's good!
That's a hat trick.
That's just 2
Is it
for
not?
Vaughn.
Nope, that's 2.
2 for Vaughn, but a great free kick goal by the sophomore, Arissa Vaughn. Put it in the top left corner. The goalkeeper had no chance to get to that one. And it's 8-0 in favor of Roncalli.
That's the thing they do in high school.
So we see a couple Roncalli players, 4 to be exact, getting loose on the far side. Meanwhile, Sidney Horton in the back line sends it ahead to Pruitt. Battison drops it back to Burkhart. 5 goals in the first half, 3 in the second half for Roncalli. Ooh, Vaughn scoops up a loose ball and puts it on the net. She has
There's
the hat trick. There's the hat trick right there. The sophomore Vaughn with 3 goals in less than 5 minutes. And it's now 9-0 in favor of Roncalli. Vaughn with the hat trick. More new faces in for Roncalli. Nora Jordan is on. Freshman forward. Expect to see some more new faces here in the final 27 and change. So 3 different Roncalli players with at least 2 goals tonight. 2 goals each for the junior Marina Babcock and the senior Sophia Dietz, and then the sophomore Arissa Vaughn with 3 goals in a 5-minute span here in the second half. Whiteland working with it. Ball laying on the touchline. Searing fighting for it. And it goes off of Searing. The Whiteland ball, no, they rule it was off of. Thought it was off of Roncalli, but they rule it was off of Whiteland. So ball knocked into the stands. They'll try it again. 9-0 our score. That's Jordan who's just into the ball game, the freshman handling. Ball blasted out of bounds. Fonseca takes the throw for Roncalli. Out to Shilton. Shilton tries to get through the defenders and does. Still has possession. Sends it back to an open space. The ball rolls almost to Burkhardt on the far side. Burkhardt all the way up off the back line. Giving support to Madriz in the deep corner. Madriz drops it back to Pruitt. Pruitt's feed into the box is deflected out to midfield. And the back line of Horton feeds it in.
The back line is playing up 60 yards.
Yeah, they're 10 yards inside midfield. Ball rolls loose and picked up by the Whiteland goalkeeper. Cleared out toward midfield, and Horton will let the ball roll a bit. Ainsley Newitt is on. The sophomore. She's in the back line with Horton and Fonseca. 24 minutes and change left in this opening night for the Lady Rebel Soccer Club. Another new face coming on for Roncalli. As Riley Pruitt, one of the tri-captains, heads to the sideline for the night. She's not on the scoreline tonight, Sam, but she has maybe impacted the game as much or more than any player in a blue jersey tonight.
Well, she's been everywhere. Both sides of the field.
Well, that was the sophomore Scheel who checked back in. Scheel, who started the game on the back line, has returned. Whiteland throw. Burkhardt inside the box, running into space. Tried to flick it in front of the net. It was deflected loose. That's Newitt fighting for it. Shilton trying to get free for a shot and can't. Ball sent out toward midfield, but Horton will hold it in. Over to Fonseca. Back to Newitt, who blasts it ahead to the top of the box in Madriz. She drops to Burkhardt. Burkhardt was on the back line to start this game. Now she's up front. A little too heavy with the touch, and the goalkeeper covers it up. Horton sends it up the side to Searing. Jean on the give and go back from Shilton. Gives to Jordan, back to Shilton. Shilton lets it run through to Madriz. Madriz puts on goal. Nice save. Deflection, though, to Burkhart. She chips it in front, and Jordan puts it in on the ricochet off of the goalkeeper. So the freshman, Nora Jordan, scores.
Goal scored by number 34, Nora Jordan.
That's Nora Jordan, the freshman. She scored on the ricochet. That was a great first save, Sam, by the Whiteland goalkeeper, but just too much pressure there. Too many blue shirts.
Too many blue shirts, not enough defenders.
So 10-0 is our score. More players back into the game for Roncalli. It's Kelly returning. Searing getting her first rest of the night. And that's Micah Waugh. First time we've seen her tonight, the freshman. She's on. Presuming that Shilton and Searing are done for this evening. 10-0 our score line. Roncalli leading Whiteland. 5 goals in each of the 2 halves tonight for Roncalli. Waugh in the middle of the field. Sends it ahead to Jordan. Back to Kelly. Saran to Jordan. Cuts inside, knocked off the ball. And the ball rolls free to the Whiteland defender, but Kelly's able to pick it up. And drop it back to Fonseca. 22 minutes to go. Roncalli content, more than content, Sam, to run some clock here.
No doubt. No doubt.
50-50 ball ricochets out of bounds. Last touch, they say, by Roncalli. $10-0 is our score. 21 minutes left here at Roncalli Stadium. Ball knocked back to the Roncalli defensive line. Loose ball in the middle of the field, scooped up by Shield. Nice move by Burkhart to try and get free, but she can't get control of the loose ball. Roncalli back with it. Kelly puts it on the frame, but it drifts over the net and out of play.
That hit the uprights.
I've got 28 shots unofficially for Roncalli. No shots.
I'll take your word for it.
No shots for Whiteland. This is the first time. The last time Roncalli won a game 10-0 was in a sectional game against Greenwood in 2014. That ball is saved and knocked free, but scooped up by Kelly. They'll try it again, and the ball cleared out, and it goes off the end line. No, it goes off the side. Did they give the throw or the corner?
I can't tell at a tight angle. I can't really tell. It appears as though it's a throw.
They gave the throw in the deep corner. That ball missed by about a foot from being off the end line and being a corner for Roncalli. Halfway through the second half, 10-0 is our score. Waiting for this throw-in to take place. Now it does. Wall comes up with it. Gives to Madriz, and she hits a ground ball in the middle of the frame that's scooped up by the Whiteland goalie. It's the 30th shot unofficially for Roncalli. Jordan settles. Hits it up to Burkhart, who can't corral it, and goes off the end line. Last time Roncalli won a game 10-0 was against Greenwood back in the sectional of 2014. So a little under 5 years ago. Up the side, Kelly. Lost her footing, got it back, and put a shot wide of the mark and off the end line. So if you're just joining us, Roncalli with 5 goals in the first half, Marina Babcock and Sophia Dietz with 2 each, and then an own goal. With about 11 minutes left in the first half, that ricocheted off a Whiteland defender. That accounted for the first half scoring. In the second half, 3 goals by the sophomore Arissa Vaughn in 5 minutes. 4 minutes and 30 seconds to be exact. Combined with goals from Sophia Saran and Nora Jordan. That's our 5 here in the second half. 10-0 our scoreline. Madriz turns on the defender. Nice play. Tried to send it back in the middle of the field, but a deflection takes it back to Madrid. Shield with a one-touch. Over to Saran, and with a 10-0 lead, content to drop it to the back line and reverse the field. Burkhart, nice stop-and-go move to get free up the left side. Cuts inside in the box. Puts it in front of the net. And, they can't get there. Madriz was there. Had a chance at the tap-in, but
just couldn't get to
that
it.
ball just a shade out of her reach. The goalkeeper had come to the near post, and Madriz was by herself on the back post, but the ball rolled just out of her reach and off the end line. Lauren Prather is back in. For Roncalli. 17 minutes to go. Whiteland goalkeeper sends the kick right to Jordan. She tries to collect it and put a shot on the net, but kicks it wide left. And another Whiteland goal kick. We'll be back with you tomorrow night for volleyball action. Missy Marsh's Lady Rebels taking on Lawrence North. 6:30 our start time from the Woodshed. You can watch the game on the school YouTube channel and the Roncalli Facebook page. 6:30 our start time. Stefan Welsh and Quinn Welsh will have the call for you. Hope you can join us. Nice move by Prather to get loose. Finds Kelly in open space on the right side. 2 defenders close quickly. Not pass into the deep corner for Jordan. The ball ricochets back toward the frame and picked up by the goalkeeper for Whiteland. 16 minutes to go. Good kick out toward midfield. Collected by Newitt. Madriz up the far touch line. Ricochets out off the defender. Substitute for Whiteland. That's Kate Dimmock into the ball game. Dimmock takes the throw. And Jordan has the loose ball. Ricochets to Saran. And the setup, Madriz with a hard shot on the near post that's collected. Goal kick, or the clear held in by Shield. Drop back to Horton. Lauren Prather. Saran. Hit ahead to Jordan, tried to spin away from 2 defenders, had it knocked free. But held in by Waugh. Waugh knocks it loose. Waugh hits the deck, and a foul is called. Setting up Roncalli with a free kick.
I'm surprised the ref didn't let that play on.
Maybe he thought the ball had come just loose enough. So Roncalli has a free kick. Madriz hits a ground ball into the box. Waugh tried to turn and shoot. Shield collects, gives to Prather. Prather pass in the deep right corner to Kelly. Kelly tries to get the cross and deflected off the end line. Blocked by the defender, setting up a Roncalli corner. That's the 5th Roncalli corner of the night. Waiting to track down a ball. that Kelly can put into play from the right corner. 13 minutes to go. 10-0 our score. Roncalli will be back in action on Wednesday night at Warren Central. Kelly hits a nice ball in the air, patted out by the goalkeeper, but not cleared out of the box. Finally, the defender first to it, but Prather sends it back into the box. Ball deflected, loose ball, fought for, and Kelly pushed off the ball, and they said Kelly touched it last. She had a case there, maybe for a foul call.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Got a little physical. Jordan has the loose ball. Ball reversed to Madriz. Madriz trying to get loose. The goalkeeper's come way off her line, and Madriz drops it back. That's Newitt. Sends it into the area, and Jordan pokes at it, but sends it right into the arms of the goalkeeper. That's unofficially the 34th shot of the night for Roncalli. Madriz drops it back. Newitt, Jordan, and Prather along the back line here for Roncalli in his final 12 minutes. Prather has it. Sends it ahead, but Whiteland able to clear it out toward midfield. Shield battling for it and regains possession. Madriz, nice one-touch to Wall, nice pass as Babcock lets it run through. Madriz has it in the deep corner. Back out to Babcock. Babcock space to shoot. Instead, she drops to Wall. Wall collects, puts it on net, blocked away. That was Jordan on the first touch, but Wall got it back. That was Jordan's shot on net initially. And Roncalli recycles in the back. I was right the first time. That was Wall. Wall and Saran working the top of the box there on that last exchange. Now Wall has it again. Saran, who has a goal here in the second half, drops it back to Shield. Over to Prather with 11 minutes to play. 10-0 our score. In the corner to Kelly. Kelly wins a throw. Slams it off the shin of the defender. Deep throw for Kelly. Kelly gets it back, and again, hits it off the shin of the defender, out of bounds for another throw. 10 minutes to go. Roncalli leads Whiteland 10-0 in this opener. Soccer here tomorrow. The boys will host Franklin Central at 7 o'clock. And then we'll have the broadcast of the boys' game against Southport on Thursday night. Madriz down the end line and hits it into the side of the net.
That went in.
That went in? Oh, my.
I think she snuck that in near post.
Wow. So I was fooled on that angle.
As was I.
That's the 11th goal of the night. First for Madriz.
Catherine Madriz.
So 11-0 is our score. Well, this is the opening game for us, too, so we may or may not have a little bit of rust on us.
That was a very tight angle. I'm not sure how she converted on
I'm not
that.
sure how either. So this is the largest win by the Lady Rebels. It's 11-0 scoreline. The largest win by Roncalli's Lady Rebels since a 17-0 win over Speedway in the Marion County Tournament on September the 29th, 2014. Certainly you remember that.
I do not. But I'm sure everyone on that Speedway team does.
You were a student, though, in September of 2014. You were here.
That is true. I was.
And you probably knew some people on the team.
That is also
I would
true.
imagine. Josie Asher, the Reese sisters, among others. Maddie Shield. 10-0 is our score. Make it 11-0. Excuse me. 11-0 is our score line. Speaking of Speedway, they won tonight 8-0 over Lutheran. Stacy Burke, the new head coach for Speedway, getting her first win as head coach of the Plugs. We always chat up Speedway a little bit when our guy Pat Crosley is alongside. 8.5 minutes to go. 11-0 is our score. Shield drops it back to Prather. Roncalli just moving the ball and keeping possession. They have held possession for virtually the entire night. Whiteland has not had a shot on goal.
I believe Emma Agresta has spent most of the game milling around the 20 to 30 yard lines.
Yep. She handled it one time tonight. She took a free kick that occurred in the Roncalli end early in the second half. That's the only time that Agresta has put a foot on it tonight. Watt dumps it over to Madriz. And Roncalli just playing diamond, passing the ball around at this point. Again, we'll be back with you for volleyball tomorrow night. Boys soccer on Thursday night. And then we'll close out the week with the football season opener on Friday night. That one you can watch on the school YouTube channel or Facebook pages. You can listen to it on CBS Sports 1430 AM in Central Indiana, online on their website, or on RebelMediaNetwork.com. 6:30 with the pregame, 7 o'clock with the kick for that one against Southport. That season opening game against Southport, Sam, always means a big crowd. We expect a capacity crowd here Friday night.
Of course.
It will have cooled off by then, so we're expecting a game time temperature in the 60s.
Thank God.
Be a great evening to close out the week. I would put the atmosphere, the pregame atmosphere here at Roncalli for a football game, for a home football Friday night, is second to none.
Especially against a team like Southport.
The music, the tailgates, the enthusiasm, the vibe, it's unbelievable.
I would say that the pregame...
This is the first time Whiteland's had the ball in the Roncalli area all night. Whiteland unable to get a shot off, but a nice clearance by the Roncalli defense. Now there was a rush initially, but Roncalli pulls back wisely. Continue your thought. I had to talk that Whiteland rush up.
I would say the pregame hype for the Southport game is second only to the pregame hype for the FC game.
I would agree with that. Five and a half minutes to go. Legal throw by Whiteland.
Got to keep the feet down.
Got to keep the feet down, both of them. Roncalli taking the air out of it here with an 11-0 lead. I'll take a 1-0 record into Wednesday night's game at Warren. Meanwhile, Whiteland will return to action on Wednesday night as well at home in a Mid-State Conference opener against Plainfield. 5 minutes to go. Alyssa Vaughn, the story here in this second half, with a hat trick in 4.5 minutes. One of three players with multiple goals tonight, Sophia Dietz and Marina Babcock with 2 each. Those all came in the first half.
A hat trick in a game is a feat of its own, but I can speak as someone who played soccer for a number of years. A hat trick in less than 5 minutes is virtually unheard of.
It's pretty impressive. Prather handling. Kelly has dropped back to help out. Roncalli reversing field. On the far sideline, that's Madriz. She has a goal here in the second half, as does Sophia Saran and Nora Jordan. 11-0 our score. Inside 4 minutes to go. Ball dropped all the way back to the back line and knew it. She touches over to Horton. Horton drops it back to the goalkeeper Agresta. Her first touch in what seems like eons. Sydney Horton, Sam, is a name to put in your back pocket for basketball season.
Oh, really?
In terms of a freshman that could impact the varsity.
I didn't
she's
know.
a name to watch.
Did not know she was a two-sport athlete.
She's a name to watch come wintertime. So just file that one away. She's in the back line right now, handling the pass from Prather with 3 minutes and change left in this one. Wall operating in midfield, flips it over to Madriz. Roncalli just moving the ball around, playing out the final 3 minutes of this season opener. Whiteland with work to do, but their coach, Nick Magdalenas, has a track record of winning soccer in his time at Warren as the boys coach. That was his most recent stop. He's also been the girls coach at Westfield. But anytime you take over a team, Sam, that went 1-15-1 and has just 2 remaining players,
that's going to be difficult for anybody, no matter how good a coach you are.
it's going to be a work in progress. Yep, you got to have patience, and it's going to take some time. But clearly the Whiteland leadership, including their AD, Ken Sears, who's a great guy, identified Magdalenas as the guy to do it. 2 minutes left in this season opener. Decent crowd here for a Monday night, especially given the temperature 86 degrees at game time. It's
2 minutes remaining.
cooled significantly since the sun went down. Ooh, Burkhart dropped that one back and almost a giveaway. It's a little, that was cut a little close for comfort.
Playing it a little too loose here in the final minutes.
Prather cuts it back and then drops it back. Well, there is a Whiteland player back there. It rolls through to the goalkeeper, Agresta, and she picks it up. I'm not sure she can pick that up, can she? On a drop back?
I do not believe so, no.
And I'm not sure the Whiteland player can drift in front of the kick like that either.
Well, had she gotten to that, she was about 6 yards offsides when the ball was dropped back, so
Good point.
it's not like she could have played it in the first place.
Ball last touched out of bounds by Roncalli. Immediately following the conclusion of the game, we'll take a 2-minute pause, and then we'll come back with a brief 3 or 4 minute post-game show to wrap this one up. Give you all the particulars, set up the rest of the broadcast week, and certainly acknowledge our top-of-the-line crew with us tonight. Ooh, Kelly looked like she came up limping, and after she played that ball on the near side, and she's unable to put any kind of weight on, it looks like her left side. Meanwhile, there's 35 seconds to go, but Kelly has found herself, she's trying to work out, looks like maybe she got a cramp.
It's possible.
She keeps lifting her left leg and trying to work out something that looks like a cramp either in her quad or her calf on the left side. Meanwhile, Prather has it in the Roncalli half. Gives to Kelly, who sends it back to Horton. Roncalli will start the season with a 1-0 record.
7, 6, 5.
Kelly will send it up the sideline as the clock hits triple zeros. Our final here tonight in the season opener for Maurice Shilton's Lady Rebel Soccer Club.
Be safe on your drive home.
Roncalli 11, Whiteland 0. And the largest win for Roncalli's girls soccer program in almost 5 years. We'll step out, take a break for 2 minutes. When we come back, we'll run down all the particulars in tonight's postgame show. After this, on the Rebel Media Network. Welcome back to Roncalli Stadium for the postgame show. Roncalli's Lady Rebel Soccer Club winning 11-0 over Whiteland tonight. Let's take a look at the score line. Roncalli getting all of its goals. Should say all of its goals. 5 of its goals in the first half, 6 in the second half. Marina Babcock opened the scoring just 4.5 minutes in. Marina Babcock, excuse me. She had 2 goals in the first half, and her 2 goals were sandwiched around 2 goals from Sophia Dietz, the senior. Final goal of the first half was an own goal that ricocheted off of Whiteland defender Haley Ox. That was with 11 minutes to go in the half, and it put Roncalli on a 5-0 lead. In the second half, Arissa Vaughn opened the scoring 9.5 minutes in. Sophia Saran added a goal less than 2.5 minutes later. Then Vaughn scored 2 goals in a 13-second span, giving her a hat trick in a little under 5 minutes, 4.5 minutes to be exact. Nora Jordan, the freshman, added a goal at the 22:48 mark, and then the scoring was closed out by Catherine Madriz, a sophomore who scored at the halfway mark of the second half. So, all told, it's an 11-0 scoreline in favor of Maurice Shilton's Lady Rebels. The largest win from a margin standpoint for this Roncalli Soccer Club since a 17-0 win over Speedway back in late September of 2014. So, I think a solid first opening night for Roncalli, Sam, all things considered. You got pretty much every player that's, not every player, but most every player on the roster was able to see